All right, so I thought it would be a good time to go back to basics. Since I've seen a lot more people jumping into the trades now, to do a video on the first 10 hand tools that I would buy if I was getting into carpentry again. Now, there's a lot of crossover between the realms of carpentry, right? There, commercial framing to residential cabinet. Like there's a lot of crossover in between all these realms, but I'm just going to go general here. Now, I'm not talking about safety equipment, glasses, knee pads, freaking elbow pads, shin guard, whatever, I'm also not going to talk about a tool belt, because that is a very big preference. First thing you need is a tape measure. If you're a finish guy, you don't need a 35-foot tape measure, right? If you're doing framing, sometimes you do. General, right in the middle is like a 25-foot tape measure. That'll cover most of your standard bases, right? Just starting out. Number two is a hammer. If you're doing framing, you want a 24 or a 28-ounce hammer. You don't need a 28-ounce hammer if you're doing interior finish or interior trim, right? That's kind of ridiculous. You also don't want a waffle head if you're doing interior finish, because anytime you try to tap something, it's going to leave that waffle pattern on it. It's going to look like garbage. Painters are going to hate you. You're going to get a call back sometime. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Number three, razor knife. Get a decent, not a snap away. Don't get one of them snap away pieces of garbage. Get a good razor knife. Stanley makes one that works perfectly fine. They're like $4, and it comes with like 5 blades. Easy peasy. Next, a square. You can get a framing square. You can get a T-square. You can get a combination square. There's 20 different squares you can get. Standard, just a regular square, right? Again, Stanley makes a good one. Don't get the plastic pieces of crap. Get a metal one. All right, it'll last longer. Take a little more of a beating. You can use that to get roof pitches, to rafter, hip, all sorts of stuff if you know how to use it correctly, and a lot of people don't. If you get into plywood, get a T-square. It can't hurt to have all 4 or 5 styles of square. It could go with nail pullers, right? Something to pull your nails out. I like 2 types that I like. One looks like a tile puller. It's a round head slit here, so you can kind of latch on and round it back, right? The other one is a side angle. They're like a side cut, right? So you can use those and kind of do the same thing, but you have you can grip it from the bottom better. You can get closer to the wood than you would with the tile style pullers, right? With the roll pullers. A nail set, a set of nail sets. That's another good one. Get that so you can sink your nails. Like if you shoot a gun and the nail doesn't go all the way in, framing, again, you just bang it in with the hammer the best you can. Finish, you need to set the nail so it's below the wood, so it can be filled by wood putty or filler or whatever. If it's going to be paint grade or stain grade, it depends. It depends, right? A flat bar. Flat bar is a good one to have. It's a multi-purpose tool. You can use it to push things up. You can use it to pull things in. You can really crank it down. Not one of the giant, not the 4-foot persuader bars. Just a 12-inch. But if you're doing framing, cat's paw is better a lot of the time. Because you can really get in there, get the nail out, pull it out, no sweat. Flat bar is really made for prying things up, moving things up, some kind of level. A good starting level, you could probably go with a torpedo level if you're just starting out. Torpedo or a 2-foot level is a probably good one to start out with, just to make sure you're on the right track of, learning to use it and all that stuff. A chalk line is a big one. You always want to have a chalk line, right? I mean, interior stuff, get some scribes. This is when you're starting out, okay? You can't, if you're asking a 20-year veteran carpenter, they're going to say, no, you just mark the center and use a drill bit, use a hole saw. Yeah, agreed. But if you're just starting out and you really need to mark everything so you can see it and double check everything, it's pretty good to use the compass as a compass and not just a set of scribes. And I'd say if you're going to buy this stuff, you go to Harbor Freight Tools. You can probably get all this stuff for $75, $80. And then you're set up, ready to get started on your journey into learning how to do some carpentry. And I promise you, these will not be the last tools that you buy. again, depending on if you're going into a residential carpentry or a commercial carpentry, and what you happen to be doing in that realm, this is going to vary a little bit. So keep that in mind and do a little bit of research. This is fun stuff. Carpentry is one of those fields that you can never stop learning stuff. It's very situational. Even if you're a homeowner looking to get like a little toolkit for your house so you can start doing your own projects instead of paying somebody like me to come in and do them. So I'll leave it at that. And thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. If you like this kind of stuff, I'd really appreciate it if you like the video and subscribe. Or tell me in the comment thing anything you think is different, or something that, you know, if you're a veteran carpenter, something that you might put on that list before something that I put on that list. I'm always open ears to talk to anybody or listen to anybody's opinion on stuff, and I'll give you mine right back. It's pretty cool. That's it. Thanks for hanging. Take care. Peace.